In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, I bear witness there is no God but Allah, and Muhammad is his messenger. Welcome to another edition of Jock Brothers Presents Let Us Make Man. I am your host, Brother Jackie Muhammad, and we are coming to you live from Atlanta, Chicago, North Carolina. We're all over the world today. We have a wonderful show for you today. This is a special tribute to our pioneer brother who has done a wonderful, wonderful work, Minister Rahman Muhammad. Student Minister Abdul Rahman Muhammad. We want to welcome you to our show. If this is your first time watching our show, Jock Brothers is a show that is designed to bring information that you can use in your day-to-day life. We strive hard to get into interviews with interesting people that are doing things in the world that you might not know everything about, but instead of watching YouTube, you can tune in to Jock Brothers and you can ask your questions live and get all the information that you need. So with no more from myself, I would like to introduce my co-host in this process. We have our brother. He's from North Carolina. He's a world traveler. He's a Renaissance man. Let's bring up our brother Abdul Ahmed Bia Muhammad.
Praise be to Allah. Praise be to Allah. Today I will be Abdul Ahmed Bia. Thank you all for joining on to our show this evening. Jock Brothers, Let Us Make Man. We are representing today a legend in our midst. He's always in us. He reproduced himself in his children, and he reproduced himself in us. And today we're going to do our best to expose this great man, Abdul Rahman, to the world. Thank you all for joining on. My name is Brother Ahmed, originally from New York, not North Carolina, but I'm in North Carolina. I got dual citizenships in North Carolina and Atlanta. I'm sorry, I don't mean to go on. Thank you, Brother Jackie. Keep going.
All right, Brother Ahmed. All right, let's bring up our brother. He's a hard-hitting brother, hard-working brother. This actually was his birth child. This was his idea. And we want to bring up our brother because he has been working hard to see this through. Our brother Kawi Muhammad. Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Wa alaikum salam, sir. Thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of the Jock Brothers Present Let Us Make Man. Man, this is a very special show for me tonight because we are celebrating one of the great FOIs in the history of the Nation of Islam. We're talking about Student Minister Abdul Rahman Akil Muhammad. This is how we got to honor our pioneers. I mean, we don't honor them enough, and especially the ones that's passed and did great work in this nation. So please, I hope y'all enjoy the show tonight. We put some good work behind on this show. So just, share it with as many people as possible because we need to get our word out. Who best to be the stewards of our words and ourselves? Also, for all of you that's tuning in to and viewing this show, thank you so much for tuning in to the Jock Brothers each and every week and supporting us the way that you do. Now, we usually would ask for donations to help support the Jock Brothers in our endeavors. But we have a new initiative going on. And that initiative is we are trying to send the final call newspaper to our brothers that's locked up, that's inmates. I don't even like to say inmates are locked up, but that's the best way I can describe them. And so we did the research, and if you can please stand behind us on trying to support these brothers that's locked up and send them a subscription to the final call every week, that'd be wonderful. The research is for 3 months, it'll be $18 to sponsor a brother. For 6 months, it'd be $30, and for a year, it's $60 to sponsor an inmate in jail. You can send those donations to the Jock Brothers Cash App that's scrolling at the bottom of the page. It's the Cash App, $ Jock Bros. Again, the $ JAKQ Bros. What better way to support our brothers just behind bars than keeping them informed to the word of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, as exemplified by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. That's what I got for you. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So in our history, brothers and sisters, there's always another community that's trying to tell our story. So we at Jock Brothers decided we want to take our initiative and tell our own narrative and tell our own story about our pioneers and our great ones in our community. So to get the story right, we reached out to our brother's daughters and son. So we want to introduce them and bring them on to tell the story of their father. So we have with us today our sister, my neighbor, our sister, Sister Rashida Rahman. You on mute, my sister. You want to say? Wa alaikum salam. We have our sister, Sister Ruqayya Rahman. You on mute, my sister. We can't hear you. I can't hear. We're going to come back. Maybe turn your volume up on your computer. And we have our Sister Angie. Is that Halima?
It's Halima.
Okay, Halima Rahman. Yes, ma'am. All right, we want to welcome you. Wa alaikum salam. We want to welcome you all to the show and thank y'all for joining us. Now, when we talk about Minister Abdul Rahman, the Rock of the South, what does that do for you when you hear your father's name mentioned? How does it make you feel? Tell us about that experience. Tell us about your father. Start us off with what it means to you. Sister Angie.
Okay, so
you like you was ready.
It's hard to, when growing up, he's just your dad.
Okay.
He was the dad that I sat at the foot of his chair and watched TV and laughed all day with because I thought he was so funny. He was such a charismatic man. And it was only later as I grew up that I knew how important he was. When people would find out who my father was, they were like, "That's your daddy?" And I'm like, "Why y'all acting weird?" And so I went to my father. I said, "Daddy, every time that I mention your name or I tell them who you are or that's my father, they go crazy." And he told me, he said, "Angie, one day you're going to find out who your daddy really is." So he was not that way around the house. So it was only later as I grew up to appreciate all the sacrifices that he made, outside. He was a great leader, a great activist in the community. I realized that by the way they reacted. I said, my daddy really must be important.
Absolutely.
But, as a child, you actually only see your father at the time.
Well, wonderful. Well, that means he did his job. He played his role. He was dad at home, and he was the minister to the believers. He was a powerhouse captain to some of the brothers. He was everything everybody needed at that time.
Yes, sir.
Sister Rashida, when you hear about your father, what does that mean to you?
It still literally makes me smile. I was going to say Angie is the daughter that everything my father said, Angie was ready to laugh. She was getting ready to crack up laughing and then he saw whatever he would say would do to her, just like with everybody else. He was going to say some more. And Angie would sit there and just laugh. It didn't matter what he said. He could say, "Look at that sky. They say it's blue." Angie's going to crack up laughing. She's ready to laugh. And she's ready to ask another, follow-up question behind it. But that was, I just always remember that about Angie's relationship with my father. But of course, it still makes me smile. I just feel like his shoes were so big. I don't know who can possibly try to fit in them. I mean, I know he was a tall in stature, but he was tall in spirit as well.
Absolutely. Definitely. I enjoyed every minute I had with Minister Rahman because he taught everywhere he went.
Correct.
Sister Ruqayya, being the baby, when you hear your father, what does that mean to you, my sister? I can't hear her. I can't hear her. Can anybody else hear her?
I can't hear it either.
We just heard her a little while ago too.
All right, what we want you to do, if you can log out and log back in, and then we'll come back to you, my sister. Yes, ma'am. So Brother Kawi, you have a list. Brother Kawi, you have a list
Yes, sir. I got brother Ahmed on. Can you call Ahmed right quick, and I go down some of his accomplishments.
Yeah, let's talk about the Barack accomplishment.
Okay, so we are celebrating this great man. A lot of people that's viewing may not know who Abdul Rahman is and his contribution. And while we're celebrating this man, we actually have a video that can best explain that. We're trying desperately to load that up. But let me just go down the list a little bit, and ladies, you can help me if you can. First of all, he was a legendary captain in the Nation of Islam. He was known as Captain Sam.
Yes.
He raised a lot of brothers up in the nation from the captain's position. Great teacher of the word. Then he became a student minister. And he had one of the more progressive mosques that I guess that based on his description, it was over 1,200 believers coming to the mosque every week. And this in the 70s. Not only that, he had several businesses that he opened up for the believers. He had 3 steak and takes. He had a bakery, and he had a clothing store, but y'all use a different name for it. Man, talking to The Rock, he told me himself that he had 136 believers employed at that time. I mean, he was really one that was taking a do-for-self teachings to the next level. Also, he was the only person ever promoted to a position of national. What's that position name, Sister Rashida?
Investigator. He investigated the mosque.
National investigator. Meaning he had the power to remove a minister from his post if he saw fit, based on their production. Only person to ever be put in that position in the Nation of Islam history. Not only that, this is the big one for me. He started over 23 mosques and study groups all over the southern region. That's still in effect right now. They're still open right now today. So it's countless amount of people that has benefited from the work of The Rock. Also, Student Minister Sharif, our regional minister, one day he called a meeting for all the imams in the city of Atlanta. And when they all came to the 10,000 Fearless House to meet with Student Minister Sharif, it was like 18 of them. Every single one of them was ministers up under The Rock at some point or another during the 70s. Either they were lieutenants or ministers. And they went on to start their own mosque and study group. So this is some of the accomplishments of this great man. It ain't many resumes that can even measure up to that. So it's fitting that we have a tribute to somebody that did that much work for the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. I do have a question for you though, ladies, and I hope Wakaya can get back on. They say behind every great man is a great woman.
Yes.
An even greater woman.
Even greater? That's how they say greater? I didn't see that.
It's in there. It's in there.
Let's get that straight first.
Yes, man.
It's in there. Go ahead.
Let's talk about the woman that supported this great man. In your own words.
Well, it's interesting. What I found was so interesting is that my mother was ready to submit her letter before my father was. A lot of people don't know that, but he took her to an interest meeting. He wanted her to come and listen to the brothers talk about Elijah Muhammad and to hear Elijah Muhammad. And all she had to hear was one time, and she was ready to go. So, and she told him that she wanted a Muslim man, and that if he wanted to be with her, he was gonna have to hurry up because he was lagging behind. He was like, because most of you know my father's story of how how he grew up and the havoc he used to wreak. So most you know that story. So
I don't know most of that. Give us a little bit.
hey, it's all in here. No.
Okay.
But she was actually ready to submit her letter and do everything and commit before he was. But I always tell my friends they don't make women like they made my mother and her sister and some of my aunts. They don't make women like that anymore because she was. My aunts like to call her a. I forgot the word. Phenomenal doesn't even describe it, but she was a virtuous woman. That's what my daddy's sisters called her, a virtuous woman. And the things that she could do and get accomplished was really unbelievable sometimes when I think about it. And talk about shoes. She had a small feet, but her shoes were very big. And that is something that none of us on the screen have been able to feel, but we do try. Because she was such a phenomenal person. She worked for Elijah Muhammad as she was the first certified teacher to work for the nation. She also was over the bakery, that one of the bakeries that my father started in Atlanta. She was the directress here at the mosque in Atlanta. So she was over the school once they came back from Chicago and started living in Atlanta. So when she wrote her letter and met Elijah Muhammad, it was a no-brainer for her to do all the different tasks that she did around the nation. Go ahead, Angie.
Yeah, well, for mother, she said she was so inspired when she went to see the messenger because he sent for her. She wrote a letter, and Elijah Muhammad sent for her, and she met with him. And she said when she went in and she saw all the ladies in these beautiful garments, she just knew that this was a place that she wanted to be. And being the person that my mother is, not knowing how important Elijah Muhammad was, she was really sitting there just having a conversation. And she said people were looking at her like, okay, you don't do that. But she was so free. And she said he was so accepting and was telling her that she had a degree already, how the nation needed educators such as herself in the nation. So after that, my mother was totally on board, whether my father was coming along or not. But he did come along, and she was such a wonderful, wonderful mother. She taught us how to bring out the best in a man. She just as she brought out the best in my father, he sometimes was like, well, Z, I don't think that we could do this. And she would be the backbone of encouragement to say, yes, we can. He was, yeah, she was actually his backbone in every sense of the word. She was not seen often, but trust me.
And see, she grew up in the church. My grandmother was the mother of the church. My grandfather was a deacon in Miami, Florida. And when she wanted to convert to Islam and had accepted the teachings, and she knew the track that my father was on, she told him that he had to study the Bible. And he was like, why? I'm reading the Quran. She was like, no, you get ready to come up against people, Christians, who you're trying to show them something different. So you have to study the Bible. So she basically taught him to study the Bible and the Quran almost simultaneously. Okay, which only embedded and gave him more roots in Islam and made sense more in Islam and why he chose to be a Muslim.
It was said that your mother was the first degreed instructor in the Nation of Islam.
Yes.
Well, can you guys hear me now?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, can we name this great woman? Her name.
I was going to say that Zarifa, right? It's Zarifa.
Sister Zarifa.
Sister Zarifa Rahman.
Rahman.
Yes.
Right. I was gonna say that we didn't mention her name.
I'm
Sister
sorry. We just know her as Mama.
Yeah, but I think Sister Rashida called her Z. I think she said Z one time, but
Yeah,
it's
that's
Sister
it,
Z.
and that's because that's what my dad called me.
Absolutely.
Just one more fun fact. It is said that your mother wrote the fight song
Yes, sir.
that we sing today.
She
Can y'all
did.
clear that up?
Absolutely correct. She is the author.
And it may be more than one author. It might have been two of them, but she's the one that wrote our fight song.
Praise be to Allah. Well, praise be to Allah. She did her job. But that's what it is about great. I mean, what she did when she wanted to join on first. I mean, that's been the history of our great women. Mother Clara was the same. Mother Khadijah was the same. I mean, just the history of great women. We're not going anywhere without the black woman. We've already proved that. So that's just the bottom line. The minister has already confirmed that. We know that, and we just gonna do better. Get on our job, respect and protect the black woman. We're gonna make that the narrative. That's the goal.
Yes,
So
sir.
we want to definitely thank you, Sister Rakaya. We didn't hear from you. When your father is mentioned, what does that mean to you?
For me, he was the constant teacher. Whether he was an avid sportsman. He is legendary at Washington High School in Atlanta, Georgia. It was a while ago since I left, but they still had some of his trophies and pictures in the cabinets at Washington High School. So he was he was always teaching. So whether he was looking at sports, whether he was dealing in nation business, or whether he even talked anything about relationships with brother to brother, sister to sister. He was a constant teacher. And as the baby girl, and I would say for all of us, he always had made us feel special about something about us. And I think that is so unique about my father. Even all his grandchildren, he gave every grandchild a nickname: Genius, Jewel. What was Amina, Angie?
Precious.
She was divine.
Divine. So they all had these nicknames. So he would always make you feel special for something that he saw in you.
What was his relationship like with the minister?
Oh,
So
Like brothers.
I don't even know where to start.
actually, I know a little bit. Actually, the minister, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, met my mother first.
Yeah, she did.
He met her first, and then he met my father. But they have called each other companions, brothers. But they definitely came up together in the nation. As we all know, the Honorable Louis Minister Farrakhan was Boston, New York, and my father was the Southern Regional Minister. And so, but they came up together in the work.
Praise be to Allah. All right, so
I
now
can't say closer than brothers. I don't know what's closer than brothers. So
They when they saw each other, they would say,
Right.
"We are companions." I remember that. That's what they would say with each other.
oh, absolutely.
It's a picture that that was taken of the minister kissing my father's forehead that just touches me so every time I look at it, because it's the reverence that they had for one another. Being a couple of the last soldiers who were actually ministers of Elijah Muhammad, there are no words, because it's only a few of them who were actually taught and directed, directly by him.
Mm-hmm.
So they had that bond. They knew the struggles of when they first started. The first resurrection was real.
Yes, ma'am.
So when you look at the two of them, it just takes you back to the struggle that they had to endure for us to even sit on the platform that we are today.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Did any of you ever feel any of the pressure that that the um that the world was putting on your parents? Did you ever see, all the stuff that was going on in the world at a time when dad and mom was dealing with?
No, we didn't. We were just happy,
Happy.
just happy, just knew daddy was going to be on the rostrum, mama was going to sit there, and we was going to look up. So we were just happy. We didn't understand the stress level. My father would talk about it later, after the nation had its fall, and what they all went through, and how better off they came on the other side. You don't go through anything without a struggle. So there were a lot. All I can remember is just growing up so happy in Islam. And then there was a change when it fell. It was certain things I was like, well, why daddy doesn't do that anymore? Or why we don't go to the mosque like we did? Or, there was a change. But like he said, everything, once you put those seeds, it will grow again. And we are back. Well, thanks to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, the nation rose again.
Absolutely.
Did any of you go to the university?
We all went. We all went to the university. It was so funny that my brother, he was, I'll let him tell you, it was funny because she was the principal. And when your son gets sent to the principal office, it's your home. So we all went to the Muhammad University. We all grew up there.
I think, brothers, what we and at the ages that the three of us were at is what we witnessed, not the stress level prior to 75, but we noticed, because of our age level, we noticed the stress level after 75.
Right.
The change, like my sister said, the changes that we went through, just even as a family. We had to move to Houston for a while. And it was strange going to public school versus going to the University of Islam. And just the dynamic world between husband and wife. My mom, she had to take on a couple of more different types of jobs because at that time, once Imam Warfdeen took over, my father was no longer a minister. So he went through a lot during those years. I would say 75 through 78, 79. He went through a lot of personal struggle. A lot of personal struggle. I noticed. So my mom was, come on, let's reevaluate, let's readjust, and we'll make it. But as a man, as a child, I saw him go through a lot of personal struggle professionally, how to be that provider. It was a lot during that time.
My mother described it one time as if he had lost his real father, which meant he felt a loss in himself. And a lot of ministers and a lot of believers actually went through that.
Absolutely.
They felt lost because they felt like they had been pulled out of plug, as you would say, as if he was the power source and they had been pulled out of plug. So she described it as that when he passed away, and the things that my father felt and the changes that he had gone through at that particular time.
You on mute, Brother Kawi.
I know the Rock was struggling, as Sister Rakaya said it, but how did he get I guess, tied back up with the Nation of Islam. Do y'all know how that?
Yes.
Absolutely.
You remember he told me a story several times about how he had been working for Muhammad Ali, and he came back home, and one day he was in the living room and nobody was at home at the time. And that's actually kind of abnormal for us because we have such a large family and we had such a big extended family and friends that would always be there to visit. But he actually was at home one day, and he said it was like God was talking to him. And he said, "Get up, let's go back to work. It's time for you to go and help Minister Farrakhan." And he was actually one of the first ministers that actually came back and said, "Come on, brother minister, let's go."
The way my father describes it is that he was in a room and Allah was talking to him, and he said the room shook.
Mm-hmm.
And my father is not a spooky man,
Right,
at all. But he said the energy in the room shook him, and it said, "Go help Farrakhan." And from that day, he took on that task of helping rebuild the Nation of Islam. He said that he was actually in Mecca on Hajj when they got the word. He was with Warren Think at the time, and when they got the word that Minister Farrakhan had stood up and said he was going to rebuild the nation, and he said that when they were over there, he said the imam physically got sick. When he heard that, physically got sick.
Wow.
He said it took him a minute. He came back. He just didn't see how it was going to be done until that day that he was home alone, and something spoke to him and said, "Get up and go help."
Oh, absolutely. That's a wonderful, wonderful story. And even while he was with the imam, he started a mosque here in Atlanta with a school as well that is still going to this day. They have a serious school over there. Big school, and your father put in work. We just want to highlight his work, man. He did his job.
Yeah, he's the same. The mosque that he bought, they still have.
Right.
That they still attend. So his work, like I said, when we were kids, we didn't understand it. It was only the magnitude of growing up and really knowing, what he really meant to the city and the people of the city. And like I said, it was clear in their reactions when I would tell them that was my father. And, they understood much more than I did.
Well, absolutely. That's a mark of a good laborer. When you can labor in the mission and keep the stress of the labor away from your family. You don't bring that home. That's a mark of a good laborer. So we want to thank our brother Rahman, man, for doing such a wonderful job, being a family man, a mentor to us all. I mean, I only been in Atlanta going on 4 years, and I'm talking about I sat with him every chance I got. I mean, he was at the mosque every day.
Yes, sir.
Every day.
And taught every day. And gave me advice every day. So we need brothers like that.
Yeah,
I like what Rakaya said about him being a teacher. And in order to be a good teacher, you have to be a good student. And one of the brothers told me one time at the mosque, he said, "You know why I admire your father so much?" I said, "No, why?" He said, "Because your dad is always studying. Your dad is constantly reading, constantly studying." And I wish I kept count of how many times he actually read the Quran during Ramadan from cover to cover.
Wow.
And even up into his 80s. He still participated in Ramadan and fasting and reading till 87 years old, until he passed away, to the very last one. And he wasn't even supposed to, because he was taking medication and all that. He did it anyway.
Yeah. I can say my father was one who truly not died. He left. He was on his post when he left us. He was on his post.
That's right.
Truly, I bear witness.
With my father, my family always have quotes that he always would say, each one of us can throw something at you at any given time. Let me hear some of the stuff that you just can't get out your head, that you say to somebody all the time, because it's just right there. Dad used to say it all the time.
I'm gonna say this. He used to say, "Oh Allah, help us all.
Help us all.
Help us all." That was his prayer. Every time stress would come to his way.
Or when somebody did something stupid, they'd be like, "Oh Allah,
Help us all." That was his saying. "Oh Allah, help us all."
Yes, yes.
We about to make a switch. Those are the daughters of Minister Rockman. We about to bring on the sons of Minister Rockman. Go ahead, Brother Jackie.
No, you go ahead, brother. Yeah, so we want to thank you all, Sister Rukaya, Sister Rashida, Sister Angie. We want to thank you all for coming on and giving us your offering, your charity, giving us a good word. We want to thank you. So now we're going to go to the brothers. Brother Wali Rahman and Brother Elijah Rahman. Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Salute the nation of Islam.
Okay, yes, sir. We salute back.
First question we want to know is who got beat the most? Who got in the most trouble? That's what we want to know.
Who got the most trouble? Who did the most beating?
Who got the most beatings?
No. Oh, I'm talking about the opponent in the street. I did a lot of fighting in the street.
I'm talking about daddy. I'm talking about daddy whoopings.
Daddy whoopings. I got those. I got those. I have the big belt too. Big fat belt.
Yeah.
One day I woke up, saw a couple $100 bills on my dad's dresser. I put them in my pocket. Tried to go to school. He said, "Come here, son." Took me in the room back there and pulled out the old belt. He just give me money. I ain't gonna hit you too hard to give my money back. Oh, Rock, man. I love Rock. Rock it was such a pleasure to grow up with Rock. As a father, man, you have no clue. You have no clue.
Right.
You know,
Man, tell us about it.
I listen. I go to school and say, "Listen, Muhammad Ali gonna be at my house today." They say, "This nigga lie." Look, they laugh at me. They laugh me out of school. This is when I was in public school, right? So they laugh at me all day long. I get on that bus, that bus start coming down the street. They go, Muhammad Ali, my dad is standing in the front yard waiting on me. Oh my God, man, you should have seen the pandemonium. The bus driver was the first one off the bus. He slammed the bus and parked. He jumped off the bus. The kids went to yelling and screaming. And oh my God, next thing you know, I'm an overnight celebrity. Overnight celebrity. They ain't give me no more problem no more. But I told Muhammad Ali was going to be at my house. Yes, sir.
Man, we miss your father. Brother Wali, always with your father. Every time I seen your father, I definitely seen you with him, Brother Wali. Tell us what he meant to you, brother.
All praise to Allah. First and foremost, I just want to thank you all for putting together your introduction to your show. I've been meaning to tell how we did the best introduction I ever seen in my life. Much to the show. I am a fan, and you know, just like to see brothers come together with a vision and make things happen, and not just talk. Okay.
Is he coming in chopping to y'all?
What's that?
Coming in chopping, buddy. Go to your sister computer, man. You can hear you better.
Chop it like you're on Blaze, bro.
Thank you. Can you hear me now? Can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so
No, you chopping.
I'm still chopping. Am I still chopping?
Yeah, I can hear you a little bit now.
Go ahead, Brother Wali.
Repeat this mic. Anyway, like you said, brother, I just wanted to give y'all shouts out to your introduction to the show, bro. Always been a fan, man. Thank you all
sir.
for bringing us on. Like you said, man, you know, I came up in the fall as a child. You know, I was born in '76. I saw the rebuilding of the nation. And as time went on, to the, by the way, the sisters did a great job. They asked a lot of. I hope you got some more content for you all, but shouts out to all my sisters who have been raised by mother and a father of righteousness, and it displays and shows in their adult life. And I was able to see that as a young person coming.
Hey man, you coming in bad, brother Wally. I can't let you do that, man. I really want to hear your story, brother.
You got to switch it up, Wally.
Y'all can't hear me. Y'all telling me
Man,
that?
you in the bad. You chopping bad, bro.
He's good now. Whatever you
It's
just
good
did.
now. Yeah, it's
Whatever you
good
just
to me.
did. He's good.
All right, we're gonna keep going. The
Yeah,
devil,
yes, sir.
the devil tried to intercept these words, but we're gonna keep fighting through what's going on. But anyway, I just wanted to give respect to my sisters who have displayed good womanship in their lives and due to the raising of my father and my mother. But yeah, I was blessed, to be around my father on a day-to-day basis in his last years. And I was also able to, I came up with the idea to do a documentary on his life because I was hearing all these great stories. And like my sister said, everywhere we go, he would run into people and people would recognize him. At Savior's Day, that we couldn't even get from one side of the vending to the other side without at least taking 40 to 50 pictures. Um, so I knew that was something really great in what he did. And as I decided to start his documentary film, I even found out more information on how many people he actually fished into the nation directly or indirectly, or somebody he fished somebody. And the groundwork and the will to get things started and not take no for an answer was, relevant in all the testimonies of all the people that would, tell us about what my father was. So as to obtain that from a young guy to an older man, it doesn't get old. It was as fascinating as it was when I was 12, 13 years old, as it was when I was in my early 40s before he transitioned. So yeah, just to be available for him in his days when his legs started giving out and he needed help to get around. But his heart was still strong and his spirit and his mind never left him. He could tell you things about what would happen in 1961 at 2 p.m. at Mars number 32. Like, I mean,
Right.
he was so sharp mentally all the way all the way into the end. So I was able and blessed. It felt like a task at the time, but I was blessed to be able to get him up every morning. He prayed every morning. He didn't miss a prayer. Every day that the mosque was available, he was
Come
there.
on now.
And that's facts. I mean, you don't have to hear from me. You just ask uh, number 15 who was in the front every day. Okay, so his dedication to this cause, even when a person is not there with you, and speaking of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and even when the nation fell, his faith never left. That picture of the message stayed on our wall in the living room. And so I knew whoever this man was, we're dedicated to that cause. So there was never a question or a doubt, especially when the minister came back, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan came back and rebuilt the nation that I had heard so much about. I knew that Allah was real. There wasn't even a question of do I need to become an adult and make a decision if I want to stay a Muslim. I mean, Muslim was just it was no other choice, and we knew it was the truth. And he translated that well to his family. I'm so happy that I had the chance to help him every single day and get him ready for prayer, get him to the mosque. So that gave me an observation of the dedication. Even when he didn't even have his legs anymore, he was still going to that mosque. So here I am as a healthy young man with my legs and athleticism. And he's outdoing me. So he put me back on my P's and my Q's and everything that I wanted to do in life. And it's paying off right now. All praise is due to Allah. But it was definitely a blessing to see that magnificent life and to be able to use and document and him telling his story, which will be releasing his documentary film, The Man Behind the Great, inshallah, after New Year's. Right now, I'm working on the licensing. And once I get all the licensing approved, because of all the Muhammad Ali images, we'll be able to give you guys a solid date, hopefully, inshallah, by Savior's Day. Maybe that'll be a Savior's Day gift that we can
You
give
just make sure
to
you
the
come
whole
back to this
entire
show
nation.
with that documentary, brother. You just
Yeah,
What's
man,
that?
you come here and release it.
Right, he ain't released it yet. So we want you here first, bro. Here.
Oh, we're gonna put together a big premiere here. Trust me.
Okay.
I was just at the BMF premiere that 50 Cent did for his show about Big Meat, and I observed how they put that
But
show.
hold up, Wally. We got some questions, bro. We got you. We got some questions, though.
We're gonna premiere that. Trust me, right? We'll be the first to see it.
That's Rahman's son, brother. That's Rahman's. That's Rahman's son right there, brother. Yes, sir. Go ahead, Kawi. Go ahead, brother Kawi.
Go ahead, Kawi. I know we got a format. I'm sorry, brother. I got my own.
It's okay, brother. It's okay, Wally. Go ahead, Kawi.
Hey, we thought we had to give you a rostrum, brother. I ain't gonna lie to you, brother. But look, hey, all praise to do. Hey, so y'all, we can talk about how great your dad is all night. Of all the great things that he has accomplished, what have you taken from your dad that you use on a day-to-day basis to get to the point where you're at right now? What gifts did he leave with you specifically?
I'm gonna tell you one right now, brother Kawi. Is one of the main things that's gonna get me through this life. That's work ethic. Man, my father worked. I mean, he worked and he worked and he worked his dying day. Man, he loved the nation. He loved black people, and he worked. I remember one time he told me, Brother Boy, he said, son, let me tell you something. There's no reason for no man on this earth not to have no money. He told me when he was young, he would take a toilet brush to the filling station. You know, there was gas stations back then. To the filling stations. A toilet brush and ask them to clean their toilets to make some money. So always you could use your hands. Use your hands if you want to survive. There's no way a man should have what he doesn't. Every man should have what he wants if he got hands and feet and legs. Because my brother, let me tell you something. He instilled in me a work ethic.
That's right.
A work ethic.
Yeah, and
that's one of my main things I got from my father.
Yeah, and to spin off on my brother's comment, the work ethic, he really taught me what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught him was to do for self. So in that, doing for self, you had to be creative, especially he didn't never, work no regular job at no, company for some white man. He always found a way. I mean, look at him. He always was vending. He was always selling sheets or something. He continued to work. And what he didn't like to use hustle a lot, but he said, I used to be a hustler on the street. So he kept that work ethic and he put it into a positive light. He said, now, if I hustle God's work, then there's no way I know I'm going to win because I'm doing God's work and I'm doing the right things. So out of that, the work ethic definitely, which I'm actually using today in my own life. And it's also the one thing that really stood out was he expressed to treat people like you want to be treated. And his generosity of the things that he did when he was helping the nation before the fall and after the fall, he would put businesses together and take the money from the businesses that he had and apply it to other things. And then the money he would get from working with Muhammad Ali, he told me a story about how he bought a bus for the mosque, and instead of saying, he didn't want everybody giving him some credit like he bought it, he said, look what we bought, so that the mosque could feel a part of what was going on, as opposed to him getting some personal accolade for what he had done. And which is part of the reason probably why he never really got the credit for being the one that converted Cassius Clay into Islam, is because that wasn't his concern. His concern was more of just getting the work done and being the best friend and soldier from the Honorable Elijah Muhammad that he could be. So with that dedication, that's the biggest thing I've been able to take with me, is to try to involve people. And when your blessings come, it does no good to just keep them for yourself. It's a better thing to spread it to your brothers and sisters, so that we can help build a nation, which is what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us to do.
Brother Cowboy, let me also say this, brother, that a lot of people don't even realize that mosque is on Fayetteville Road right now. My father actually put his money up for that mosque. That wasn't, right. And he let the believers believe that look what we've done. But that was all his cash. He did that.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right. He did that for the love of the nation and the love of his black people.
That's right.
Mosque and a school.
That's right.
Tell it.
Mosque and a school.
That's
nice
right.
school.
Let me ask you this. I gave the sisters a chance to talk about y'all mom. What was her contribution toward? I know Rock was a busy worker bee, man. He was a worker bee from what I saw. What was your mom's contribution in that, and how did she help push Rock along?
Oh man, she supported him in every way. One way was by keeping the kids together. He didn't have to even worry about us, because she had us on point, bro. Had us on point.
Tell it.
You come to our house, it's one of the most orderly houses in the world. When my daddy come to town, hey, hold up. It's got to get right. She had us on point for my dad. That's what she did. She had us on point for him. And that goes to show you how much she supported him in his efforts, by having him not even have to worry about us at all. It was 7 of us, man.
7.
It was seven of us. He didn't even have to worry about us at all, because Sister Zarifa was on it. She cooked, she fed us, she clothed us. Oh my God, my mom did so much, brother. She did so much.
She was a master chef, first off.
Behind every great man is a great woman.
Yes, sir.
What say that again, brother Elijah? What?
Behind every great man, there's a great woman.
Right. That's what I remember hearing. That's
yes,
right.
Sir.
Okay. That was for Sister Rashida. Go ahead, Brother Wally.
Yeah. I don't know if sisters realize how important it is for a man to have a peaceful household, especially with a lot of children, but to know that there's some peace and happiness there, to know that there's some peace, happiness, and consistency there, and just being able to hold him accountable if he was stepping out of line. She just was a very, very smooth acting and a calming source for him all the way throughout their lifetime. So, she was definitely that. And she just worked so hard. And, her soul and her spirit was in this cause as well. So there was really no resistance to the direction that the family was going in. Even after the fall, when the minister took his stand and started rebuilding the nation, they had discussions on what they should do if this was a sincere effort. And she supported him all the way through the rain until we got back to the sunshine, man. And you can't ask nothing else from that. And she had her own impactful things that was going on in her life as well. She was a drug drug rehabilitation counselor, which I am today. She just brought a lot. She was a school teacher, which is she used to school teaching the prison system with the hardest criminals in Atlanta, Georgia. And she was a consistent teacher. And so when you on a righteous path and you got a man like Abdul Rahman, she definitely locked down that household and kept us afloat. How do you it's hard to hear in this day and age when you got 4 daughters that didn't have any children out of wedlock. So that was a standard there. It wasn't even a question about how we were going to live our lives, and about her and her strength in keeping us on our righteous path. All praises due to Allah.
All praise be to Allah, brother. That's absolutely right, brother.
And brother, and let me tell y'all, brothers, this that a big thing about us growing up, brother, that made our household wonderful was the restrictive laws, brother, that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad put in place for families.
Teach, man. Come on.
You understand? Because my father had 4 beautiful women, 5 beautiful women in his house. Okay, now when my mama left, guess what? All of them had to leave at the same time. Mm-hmm. So I asked her, Daddy, how come every time mama goes somewhere, all of them got to go? He said, son, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, let's stop child molestation. That stops molestation. It's unheard of for children in the nation to be molested because of the restrictive laws set by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad.
Teach, man. Teach on that, man.
Wow. That's a good point, brother.
Restrictive laws, brother. Right, so when we complain about this and that, you have to think about why those laws are in place. Those laws are in place by our most guided one, our most holy one.
Tell it.
So the most holy one has put that in place. I think we should go by it and think about it.
No, absolutely.
Because I sat with a man who sat next to a man who sat with God. That's something, man. To know that your father sat with a man who sat with God.
Yes, sir.
That's a beautiful thing, brother.
Right. Absolutely.
We're talking about living, walking God.
Absolutely.
I'm not talking about no spook God.
Tell it.
Alive, living God. Master Farad, man.
Come on now. Yeah. Well, look, brotherhood, we want to thank you both for your testimony.
I'm just getting cranked up. Whoa.
Hey, that's what happened, brother, when you having fun, brother.
Right, I can feel that rock mom just balling in me.
Eli, why don't you please, man? Can you say what you said at the memorial service, brother? I'm a soldier, man. Can you get that to the public one time, man, before we get out of here? Please,
go ahead, give it to him like this here. Cause it's boiling in me.
Let's go. Let's do it again.
You understand? I'm a soldier.
Yeah.
I'm a soldier in the army of God. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad is my commanding officer. The Holy Quran is my code of conduct. Faith, prayer, and the word of God are my weapons of warfare.
Tell it.
I've been taught by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, trained by experiences, tried by adversity, and tested by fire.
Tell it.
I'm a volunteer in this army. I'm enlisted for eternity. I will either retire in this army or die in this army. But I will not get out, sell out, be talked out, or pushed out. Yeah. I am faithful, I'm reliable, I'm capable, and I'm dependable.
You sound like your dad.
I'm in place, saluting my king, obeying his orders, praising his name, and building his kingdom. And no one has to send me flowers, gifts, food, cards, and candy, or give me handouts. I do not need to be cuddled, cradled, or
Yes.
catered to. I'm committed, man. I cannot have my feelings hurt bad enough to turn around. I cannot lose enough to make me want to quit. When Elijah called me into this army, I had nothing. If I end up with nothing, guess what? I'm still gonna be the winner.
Tell
My
him.
God will supply all my needs. I am more than a conqueror. I always strive. I can do all things through Christ, Elijah Muhammad. Devils cannot defeat me. People cannot delude me. Weather not cannot wear me. Sickness cannot stop me. Battles cannot beat me. Money cannot buy me.
No, sir.
Governments can't silence me. Hell cannot. I said hell, sir, cannot handle me. Because
Tell
I
him.
am a soldier.
Oh, praise it.
Even death cannot destroy me. When my commander, Minister Louis Farrakhan, calls me from this beautiful battlefield, he will promote me to one of his generals and then bring me back with him to rule this world. I'm a soldier in God's army. I will never surrender it to the enemy. I will never turn back. I'm a soldier marching toward heaven, claiming victory as we go. Here I stand. Will you stand with me?
Brother
Assalamu
Abdul.
alaikum.
Brother
I'm with
Abdul Rahman Muhammad, brother. We want to thank you all, brothers, for coming on to the show, brother. We're gonna pause for we have a video. Are we ready, Ahmed? Is we good? Okay, we're gonna show a video, a short video that was put together by our brother Minister Carlos in Baltimore, where he honored the Rock, excuse me, where he honored the Rock at FOI class with this video.
Oh, yes, sir. That's a good one there, brother.
Yes, sir. We're gonna show that right now. So, brother Ahmed, if you will, go ahead and run it, sir. I don't see it, brother. Ahmed.
Here we go.
All right, I think it might be too large. It may be too large, yeah. So we want to go ahead and just continue on because we have some other guests that we want to get to. We want to thank you all who are on for your patience. Thank you all for holding on with us. We have some special guests that we want to bring up next. Is our brother student regional minister Abdul Sharif Muhammad ready?
Yes, sir.
If we can bring him on, brother Kawi. All righty. Praise be to Allah. There he is. Praise be to Allah. All right. With no more from us, let's bring on our brother who I'm in Atlanta now. He's doing a wonderful work. Our brother who I strive hard to duplicate what he does. He does not sit around and play any games. Our brother is building. He is working since I've been here. He is employing brothers and sisters. He is a builder. So let's bring on our brother student regional minister, Abdul Sharif Muhammad. Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Wa alaikum salam.
How you feel, sir?
Bismillah Rahman Rahim. Thank you all for allowing me to come on the show. Thank you. And I've enjoyed the show so far. Great. Especially talking about the mighty Abdul Rahman Muhammad. That's my man.
Yes, sir, brother minister. If you will, can you start us out by telling us what rock meant to you, brother minister?
Man, I'm gonna tell you, the great rock meant a whole lot to me, man. Man, when I first met him, and to hear like what the brothers and his daughters and his sons were saying, when he started telling the history of the nation, man, can't nobody tell it like the mighty rock. And how much he loved the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and how much he loved the Honorable Louis Farrakhan. Man, you can sit there for days, man. And that's why when I came down here, I went to look for the rock. And that's why when you came to Muhammad Mosque on 15, you saw Brother Rahman picture up on the wall. First thing you walked in the door. That's because I asked the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. I asked him, could I put a picture of the mighty Rahman up on the vestibule I did in the mosque? And the minister said, you would do that for your brother? I said, yes, sir, brother minister. Because when do you find another man that put another man picture up in his house?
Come on now.
You don't, very seldom you find that.
Yes, sir.
You don't see my picture nowhere.
Come on, brother.
Mighty Rahman over there. And I told Brother Rahman, I said, Brother Rahman, everywhere I go, I'm going to take you with me.
Right.
He said, what? I said, yes, sir, Brother Rahman. For the work that you've done in this city called Atlanta and the Nation of Islam, I'm standing on your foundation.
Come on now.
See, I said, so I'm going to take you everywhere I go in this city. And then that's why you can go in Tuskegee right now in the restaurant, Blue Seas restaurant. You'll see Brother Rahman picture up in there. And we named the whole ballroom after Brother Rahman.
That's right.
That's why in the Ark right now, you see Rahman Hall of Fame.
That's right.
In
That's
the
right,
the fellowship, Rahman.
Rahman, come on now.
Right. Everywhere I go, if I'm living. That's why I told Brother Rahman, ain't no air between me and him. That's why you see this picture. The mighty rock. Everywhere I go, I carry him in my heart. The mighty rock. Yeah. That's what he meant to me and what he still mean to me. Rahman was a hard worker. He loved the nation. He loved Master Farad Muhammad. He loved the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And he loved the Honorable Louis Farrakhan and his people.
Come on, man.
That's
Come on, man.
You came to that mosque every day. He was sitting up there teaching somebody. Because I love Brother Rahman. And I always looked out for him. And still look out for him.
Come on now.
Thank you all for giving me the privilege just to have these few words to say.
Man,
thank you all so very much, man.
Man, we want to thank you for your example, brother minister, for your example of brotherhood.
Be to Allah, man. I love the Rahman. I love you all for doing this. I love his family. And I say thank you all for the work that you all are doing. Yes, keep it going. And keep honoring the great ones, the great ones. Those Brother Rahman words, right? The great, Great one. So I thank you all very much.
Yes, sir. Thank you, brother minister. All right. So how was that received though? When you made that move like that, how was that received, brother minister?
Those that really love the Mighty Rock,
that
the move was smooth. You're always gonna have a few haters.
Okay.
But those were my motivators.
Oh, come
on. We keep going. The Rock taught me that, let your haters be your motivators.
Tell it.
See? And that's what I learned from the Battle Rock. He didn't let nothing stop him. When his mind was made up, that was it. That's why you hear him in the audience. She's hard, Con.
Peace.
He loved the other.
That's right.
Oh, man. And I learned that from the Rock, man. I love him.
Yes, sir.
Who don't like it? I love him.
Tell it.
That's my man, Mighty Rock. Yes, sir. So.
Oh, praise you, dude.
Y'all have any questions?
Oh,
no
man.
app between them. No app.
That's right.
First off,
let me say this, Brother Sharif.
Yes, sir.
I want to express to you, brother, how much love and appreciation I have for you, brother, for what you did for my father, brother. But without you, brother, they tried to wipe his name. They tried to wipe him out of Atlanta. They tried to wipe him off the history of the mosque in Atlanta. They tried to get rid of him. But Sharif, you took care of my daddy, Sharif. I want to thank you, brother.
Praise be to Allah. Thank you all. You all
thank
love
you, brother.
Thank you.
Thank you. You made me so proud, man. Just coming that box and see my dad's picture on that wall, man. It's wonderful, man, what you did for my father, man.
Absolutely.
Yes,
praise
be
to
to Allah.
Hey, I'm going to tell you, he told me that's my man.
Yes, sir.
Sharif
That's
is
it.
my man.
That's right.
He said, man, Sharif did it for me. Sharif did it for me. Yeah, man.
Yes, sir. Praise be to Allah.
Thank you. I know when I come to Atlanta, I can walk right there and sit in the chair. Sit right in the chair.
That's right.
Hey, but a couple of people can sit in that chair.
That's right. Yes, sir. And look, when we get ready to build one from the ground up in a few days by the grace of God.
Come on, brother minister.
Rock then. Oh, you ain't seen nothing yet.
Come on, brother minister.
Praise be to
Yes,
Allah.
sir.
You watch.
Yes, sir. We're gonna have Abdul Rahman. We're gonna have a whole office just for him.
Yes,
Because guess what? Sharif, he's still with us.
yes.
He's still with us.
That's right.
Tell it.
He showed me all the time he's with me.
That's right.
He's still with us.
Yes, sir.
He's just on another dimension right now.
Yes. That's right.
I'm telling you, Sharif, we're gonna catch up to him.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
He's still working.
Look, boy, they're working in our lives. They're working hard. Karen, Sister Karen,
Yes.
my mother, my father.
Yes.
They're working hard in our lives, man. And let me tell you something, man. Allah is getting to the point right now. Allah is making himself so relevant, so fast now, that if you don't believe it, he's going to leave you by the wayside now. You see Allah working in your life so fast, you say, wow, that can't be nothing but Allah. Can't be nothing but Allah.
Tell it. Tell it.
Can't be nothing but Allah.
Yes, sir.
I say, karma used to take 3 years to come around. Now it takes 30 seconds. 30 seconds. It don't take no 3 years to come back around. What you do now is what you get back now.
Come on.
It's what you're going to get back right now.
That's right.
So we got to put in the good works now.
Yes, sir.
Ain't no more half works.
That's
It's
right.
time to put in the good works now.
Yes,
Talk.
sir.
Talk.
Allah is present. He's living. He's alive. He's walking with us. He might be standing next to you, and you don't even know it.
Come on.
You don't even know it.
Yes, sir.
Put in your good work now. I want to thank you, brothers, the Jack brothers. The Jack brothers for putting this on. Because brother, y'all are putting in the good work now.
Right.
Well, well, look, brother, we have a good mentor, brother. We have a good example. We
That's
have a
right.
good
Sir.
example. We have your father, and we got Student Regional Minister Abdul Sharif Muhammad that's putting that work in right now.
Yes, sir.
Right
Yes,
now, brother,
sir.
we're putting it right now. So we trying to emulate that, brother. We're not trying to talk. We're trying to emulate what we see.
Put
So
in that work
and
now.
that's what we want to tell the story of
Present.
your father. But we definitely want to highlight the brotherhood that Student Regional Minister is showing us.
Yes.
How you honoring those that come before you. By honoring those that come before you, we need more of that, brother minister. Would you say? Is
Yes,
that
sir.
a lost art, sir? Is that
Yes,
a lost
sir.
art? Honoring.
That's right. That's right.
So man, so definitely we definitely need to continue that work, brother minister. We want to thank you for your sacrifice. Since I've been here, I mean, that's all I've seen is work from you, sir. And the work you have done, I mean, it's no talking. He just works. He does exactly what he wants to do, what he says he's going to do, and he makes it happen.
That's
and
right.
We wanted to highlight that, but we also wanted to highlight how he has expressed the brotherhood. Like he said earlier, he named a hall after Rahman, brother minister. What made you do that? What made you name that hall Rahman?
Because of the work that brother Rahman put in.
That's
I want
right.
that to live forever.
Right,
I want the young students, when the young people come to the mosque, I want them to ask, who is that man? Then it goes on to generation and generation. They'll know about the mighty Rahman.
Yes, sir.
Brother minister.
Yes, sir.
Come on, brother.
Man Sharif. All praise to do to Allah.
Who is that man? Who is that man?
Praise be.
All right, so before we go, brother minister, we want to highlight the ark. You're putting the ark on the map. We're gonna definitely want to. We want to go deeper on it at another time, but we definitely want to highlight the fact that you got the ark going up. The ark is floating. It's on plank. It was built with planks and nails, but it's designed to float on, brother minister. And you have named the wall that's in the ark. You call that the Rahman Hall of Fame?
Yes, sir. The Rahman Hall of Fame.
Yes.
So when everybody come in, they got to look up and they want to. Then you get a chance to start conversation. The young people, the middle-aged, the older people. That's the Rahman Hall of Fame. Look at him. Got his picture up there. His name lives forever.
Yes, sir.
Teach, brother minister.
Come on,
yes,
now.
sir.
Teach.
Yes,
See, this is a different kind of brotherhood, man. It's a different kind of brotherhood, man. This is what I'm talking about, man. Hey, we got to keep that going, man. Praise be to God. Thank you, brother minister.
Come on by the ark. We'd be glad to meet him and talk to him.
I'm going to tell you, Sharif, before you came, before you got here, they were trying to wipe Rock from the history books. They tried to wipe him out. They couldn't wipe him out. Not when Sharif came. When Sharif came, he put Rock on the map, baby. Put him on the map.
Praise be to Allah.
Yes, sir.
So thank you, Student Minister Sharif, for coming on. Okay. Thank you, Student Minister Sharif. We're gonna where Brother Jackie at? I guess we'll just bring up, the Rock had many friends. He tutored many people. He was mentor to many ministers, and one of the brothers that we're about to introduce you to now is one of his top students. And I'm talking about our student minister out of Macon, Georgia, Darrell Muhammad. How you doing, that top soldier?
Assalamu alaikum. I'm fine. How about
you? We don't hear you, brother.
We here now.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Can you hear me?
A little bit.
Can you hear me, brother Wally?
A little louder.
I can hear you.
Okay, I'm trying not to scream because my wife said when I'm on these calls, I talk too loud. But I can hear you all clearly.
Praise be to Allah.
Go ahead, scream, brother. Scream. Scream from the mountaintop.
All right, how about now?
Right there is good, brother.
how about now?
It's a little better.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Okay, I was doing better with these earphones on. Let me change earphones here real quick.
Yes,
Because
sir.
I was hearing you all very clearly. Okay, you can hear me now? Is that better?
That's a little weaker.
That's a little weaker. All right, how about now?
It's about the same, but we can hear you, man. Let's go ahead and roll it out. You with that, Kyrie?
Yes, sir.
If he want to come back, we're going to get that audio right. We can bring him back. What you want to do, brother minister?
You sound better without the headphones.
Good. Go ahead.
Yeah, you sound better without the headphones, brother.
Without the headphones.
Better without the headphones?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. That's
Yes,
good
sir.
right there.
We need everybody else muted though, because we got too much feedback.
I'm trying to.
We're gonna mute everybody.
Okay, I can hear you all clearly. Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Unplug
sir.
the headphones. Unplug the headphones.
Okay, I did. I unplugged my earphone.
All right, you clear with us right now, brother minister.
I don't know what's happening. Sir?
No, you're clear. You're clear, sir.
All right, I'm clear. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. So now, Rahman, a mentor for you. I've heard you express several times how he helped you when you was in your ministry, when you was a baby in your ministry. Can you tell us that of that experience?
Oh, yes, by all means. First of all, in the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, I want to thank the Jock Brothers for allowing me to be on this program tonight. I thank you. I thank the Rahman family for having me to be a part of this program with them. And I also thank Brother Sharif for allowing me to be a part of this program. My experience with Minister Rahman, I'm like Brother Elijah and his daughters and everyone else. I could really talk about him all night, because if it were not for him, I would not even be in the ministry. And I want to start with how this all started out when I met him. And it started out with my wife when Sister Rashida was saying that it was actually Sister Zaripa that went to the mosque first. This is how I came into contact, not so much with Minister Rahman, but this is how I came to know him. It was my wife who first went to the mosque, because we were sitting around looking at the football game, talking about we was going to the mosque, but we were afraid to go. And it was my wife who went to the mosque, and we couldn't even look at the football game because we was waiting on her to give us a report, me and some of my buddies, of what happened. So when my wife returned from the mosque, I asked my wife, I said, well, how was the meeting? She said, it was good. I said, what do you mean it was good? She said, it was very good. I became a member of the Nation of Islam. I said, you did? I said, what, how? She said, I asked her, did you enjoy it? And she said, yeah, I loved every minute of it, because that big red man down there, he was teaching. And so the next Sunday, brothers and sisters, I went back looking for the big red man. And he used to love to hear me tell that story. When I would tell it, he would say, Dare, tell him what she said. Tell him what she said when she met you, when you came back. She said that big red man was down there teaching. So I went the next Sunday looking for that big red man. But however, it was Minister Van. I didn't see the big red man. And I didn't see the big red man a couple of Sundays. But then one Sunday, I got an opportunity to hear from the big red man. But to make a long story short, as time went on, I never saw myself as a minister. I was not trying to be in the ministry class, but it was him. You know, I was just talking about being in the ministry class one day, and the first officer put me in the ministry class, and I really was not even being serious about being in the ministry class, but he heard me say something one day, and it was from that day on, it was love from at first sight. And I used to ask him, why did you choose me? He said, brother, you got a head like a preacher. And 25 years later, I'm still trying to figure out what did he mean by I got a head like a preacher. I still don't understand.
Oh my
And I was
goodness.
trying not to be a minister. Look, at that time, and Brother Sharif can bear witness because he was the supreme captain, we was rolling with the final calls. So we were selling 200 final calls. Every FOI had to sell 200 final calls every 2 weeks. That's when the paper came out, and Brother Curtis was enforcing Brother Sharif's demand. And I used to be on I-20 in Lee Street, and here come this big red man in his Cadillac. I always drove a Cadillac. Always came by. I'm selling the paper, and he said, Dara, come on down to the mosque and let's talk shop. I'm selling these papers, and you want to talk about the ministry. But to make a long story short, brothers Jackie, Brother Kawi, Brother Ahmed, and the family, I am so grateful for him because I would not be the minister that I am today were it not for him. I have had many of those to influence me, of course, outside of the minister. I have had great many before me. And of course, I'm working under one as the student regional minister now in Brother Sharif. But the greatest influence is our brother, Minister Abdul Rahman Muhammad. And my first personal encounter with the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, I want y'all to listen at this. We was in the airport, and the Minister Rahman was trying to get me to meet the minister. So when I got to the minister, and I grabbed the minister's hand, and Brother Minister Rahman said, this is Brother Darrell, Brother Minister. He's going to be a good one day. And the minister snatched his hand back and looked at me and frowned. And he looked at Minister Rahman and said, yeah, if you can keep him, Rahman, he might be a good one. And it was from that day on that Rahman put me under his shoulder, under his arms, and he taught me night and day, even when I didn't want to be taught. So I have to attribute to him at whatever little success that I have had in Macon, and he never wanted me to be in Macon. He would always tell me, Dara, you are a big fish in a little pond. I hate you being in that city. Every time I would come to Atlanta to teach, he used to say, Dara, if it's the last thing I do, I'm going to get you out of Macon. But Allah is God. And I thank him for teaching me and training me, giving me his personal experiences. When Sister Rashida and Sister Rukai and Sister Angie and Brother Elijah and Brother Wali were talking, they started bringing back up in me many of the private, personal conversations that he had with me. He told me about all of the pitfalls of being in the ministry. And I have to thank him to this day that, I have had just a modicum of success, but I thank him for making it through because of all of the training in the pit holes that he would tell me about. And when I saw them, I was able to avoid them because of his direct tutelage on me. And one last thing I'll say before I turn it back over, when y'all was talking about favorite things that I always remember. When I taught in Chicago, when the minister was bringing all of us back, and when I came back, when Brother Sharif had the restaurant on Delow Drive, I came into the restaurant, and Minister Rahman said this. He said, Dara, you slew all of Christendom with the first page of Message to the Black Man. You laid them out. And so I thank Allah, and I thank him for his influence, not only my minister, he was my football partner every time this year. When this time of the year comes, I was thinking about him heavily the other day because he would always call me and say, Darren, this is our time of the year. They're about to get ready to crack some heads. And we would just fall out of that. So he was a great, great mentor. And anybody, if you come to Macon, and if anybody know me, they tell you, Brother Darrell, talk about Minister Rahman and talk about all of the teaching and the lessons that he got from here. So I'm forever grateful. And I'm thankful for you, the Jock brothers, for doing this. I'm thankful for the family. And I'm grateful to Brother Sharif. And I agree with Brother Elijah because they were trying to write him out of history. But it was our great student regional minister who raised him up from the grave and put him in the proper place where he should be, our brother, Minister Abdul Rahman Muhammad.
That's what I'm talking about. Now you talking about brotherhood. So he took you under his wing as brotherhood, man. Come on, man. Praise be to Allah.
Oh, praises too.
Praise be to Allah. Now we talking about brotherhood, man. Thank you, man, for giving that your testimony, Brother Darrell. Thank you for accepting and being patient with us, accepting our invitation and being patient, brother, minister. So keep good. May Allah continue to bless you with success, brother. Anything else you want to say about the rock before we move to our brother Carlos?
No, just keep doing what you're doing.
Yes,
and let's
sir.
forever hold him in our heart. So I heard Brother Elijah say his father is not dead. No, he not, because he is in me. If you hear me talk, you will hear him. If
Absolutely.
you hear me bear witness, you will hear him. He is not dead. He is very much alive. And he loved me like he loved his children. I mean, I never had nobody outside of my physical father to love me like that in the manner in which he did. So I forever be grateful to Minister Abdul Rahman Muhammad.
Absolutely. Thank you for that testimony, Brother Minister Darrell. That's Student Minister Darrell of Mosque, number 82 in Macon. It's 82, Ahmed. It is 82, right? Oh, you on? Yeah, yes, sir. Okay. Now we have our brother who has been patient with us out of Baltimore, Brother Student Minister Carlos Muhammad,
My man.
our national archivist. We apologize, dear brother. We could not play the video. I think it was too large for StreamYard, but we have you here. So
all praises due to Allah. Can you hear me?
Absolutely. We can hear you loud and clear, sir.
Thank you. Inshallah, I told Brother Kawi maybe we can just play the video from my end. And that might be the best and most beautiful way to finish this beautiful night.
Absolutely.
That video that gives the tribute to our minister and brother and friend and soldier, Minister Abdul Rahman Muhammad. Let me begin. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, I bear witness that there is no God but Allah, who came to us in the person of Master Fard Muhammad. And we thank him ever so much for raising up in our midst the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. And from these two, we're blessed to be here today to talk about one of the great ones. And that is because of our beloved minister and standard bearer today, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. I greet all of our viewers and the family and all of my brothers of the Jock Brothers with the greeting words of peace. Assalamu alaikum.
Wow.
Let me say, no, I have been enjoying the commentary tonight about my brother, our brother, father, minister, uncle, football partner, pool shark. Everybody, if you know, you know. And I got a good taste of that one time. But I was really, really honored. It's an honor to be here and be invited back to Jock Brothers. Thank you all so much. But I really enjoyed the family bearing witness to their dad.
Yes, sir.
Because it's one thing for those of us that met our beloved minister in the way that we did, but to hear their story that grew up in the household with their mom, Sister Zarifa, or better in those days, Sister Mildred Rahman or Mildred Saxon, and just to think of her contribution to the educational system set up by Master Fard Muhammad through the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, those stories are necessary. And Brother Elijah, we feel you, brother. And that's one of the main reasons why brothers like myself and sisters that love our nation strive so hard to preserve this history, because your father and our brother, his name is in the stars.
Sir.
Of the Nation of Islam. Ain't no doubt about that. We can't
Yes,
talk
sir.
about the Nation
That's
of
right.
Islam and not talk about your dad and your mom and the countless thousands in the Atlanta, Georgia area that benefited from his ministry. And because that was at a time in his life later on, but he had been soldiering for a long time up until that point. And not to jump the gun, but he didn't really feel comfortable. If we know that story, Wali knows that story, that he didn't really feel comfortable about being a minister in the place where he used to cut the fool.
That's
And
right.
so he told us that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad kind of laughed at him. He's like, "Oh, brother, I used to cut the fool in Detroit before I met Allah. And guess what? Look at what Allah did for him." And so I was just really, really happy to hear the daughters and the sons, who I thank Allah to building a relationship with through your father, and know for a surety that we will strive forever to make sure that our brother is well represented in terms of his contribution to Islam in North America.
That's
And
right.
though, no way, 2 hours, 3 hours.
Right. Yeah, right.
So Wali, come on, brother. Let's get that documentary done.
Right.
So that we won't have to keep watching Ken Burns to really hear about your dad.
That's right.
So brother Minister Carlos, when you went back and did the history, what are some of the things that you maybe have found out about Minister Rahman that you didn't know before? What are some of the things that maybe surprised you, maybe of his history? Anything you like to share that comes to mind?
Yes. One of the things that came to mind is, I think Rashida mentioned it. And when I say that I didn't know, it's just that you have your thoughts about what you've heard about a man or a person until you actually you're blessed to get around them and learn. And so I was always, amazed by his ability when he first came to Mosque Number 6 in 1992. Now, keep in mind, I was a young lieutenant, and I'd been reading about him and about his work in the Nation of Islam under the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. So in my historical love, I'm like, man, he's coming to the city. And as a result, I was the young lieutenant that was assigned to him. Now, you got to keep in mind, I was a teenager. So I looked like a little boy. And when he saw me in charge of his detail, he's like, why y'all got this little boy following around? and that began our beautiful relationship. So when I became the mosque minister, I began to invite him back. And we began our journey as brothers and as his, like a father, a mentor spiritually for me. So Sister Rashida said it. I remember the first time he came, and he always would say, son, make sure you keep me over for FOI now, because I got to talk to the soldiers. And I was like, yes, sir. We would keep him over for Monday. And I remember going to the hotel to pick him up on that Monday evening. And when I got to the room, he had his Bible, his Quran, his Supreme Wisdom Lessons, Message to the Black Man. He had been studying, and he had been writing out what he desired to say. And I said, oh, brother minister, you still study like that? He said, oh, yes, sir. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us, never go to that rostrum thinking that you know what you're going to say. Always go there prepared. He said, and he taught me the lessons about how to write it out and leave space for inspiration of God in your lecture.
Yes, sir.
So the point of what I didn't know, I just didn't know at that point in his development that he still felt the need to do that. But guess what? It was something that God blessed me to learn of him, and it has been impressed on me. And I live by that and teach it to other young ministers or whoever would like to learn something about how to put lectures together, how to prepare. I got that part from our brother, Minister Abdul Rahman. Lastly, I didn't know, because we always think about Atlanta. And when we talk about our brother, and of course, maybe Miami as it relates to Muhammad Ali, but he actually spent some time out on the West Coast in his early development of Islam as well, out in Los Angeles. And then the children talked about how they even got to Chicago because of their mom being an educator. And at that time, at the Muhammad University in Chicago, they needed qualified teachers, because you know what was happening at that time, to give context?
No, sir.
The Honorable Elijah Muhammad was working with the city of Chicago to make the school what they call accredited as a parochial school. But in order to be made accredited, your teaching staff and or your director has to have a certain level of quote unquote to say that this is a qualified school. And so the Honorable Elijah Muhammad began to pull who he could pull and get, and Sister Zarifa was one of those first ones that came with that could help the school become accredited. Then Sister Christine X. Johnson came and added to that. And so that allowed us to get through this tumultuous history with the establishment of the school, where the enemy in Detroit and in Chicago constantly was bothering us about contributing to the delinquency.
Come on, man.
That's why the story of your mom and how her education and her passion to teach actually helped your father get to headquarters to be trained in a certain way to become a lieutenant and to become a part of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad's honor guard escort, because these are all important parts of his development towards ministry. And so it was in his tenure in Chicago, as he related to me, he said he remembered when the minister first came there to teach at the old number 2 on Greenwood, 5335. And he said that, the minister came and he taught, and the next night they had FOI, right? And as a result, they got to the portion of martial arts. And so you had to have a partner. And so Minister Rahman said that just so happened, he was paired with the minister. And he said that as they were, getting ready to get into that piece, something in his spirit was saying, don't hurt this brother. He's special. And he said that he was taking it easy. And the minister's like, come on, brother. God had already put in Minister Rahman something to see in the minister, that as we related, they were supposed to be together on this journey in a special way.
Come on, man.
That's just some of the early parts of being around your dad. And I was always trying to get every ounce of the war stories, every ounce of history. What about this? What about that? And he never, ever held back in what he desired to share with me.
Oh man, praise be to Allah, bro. Hey, brother, I mean, just listening to you, brother, you might well give you a rocking chair, brother, and come on and talk to us. But we want to talk about this video that you put together, and you shared it with us in the FOI class, I believe it was. I don't know if it was your first time, but I know you did share it, and it brought the rock to tears when he seen it. And I wanted to know what made you put it together. What was your inspiration?
Very, very good question. What had happened at that Savior's Day? I know y'all laughing because I'm supposed to know all the dates, right? But we were moving back and forth at that time between Detroit and Chicago each year. But it was one of those years where we ended up back in Chicago, and so. This was late Friday night. We were at the McCormick, and the Supreme Captain, Brother Mustafa Farrakhan, asked me, could I, they wanted to give Minister Rahman an award, and would I participate in the program, that portion of the FOI class, to give him his award for his many years that he had been serving up into that time. Because, you know, we want to give flowers while we live, accolades, and we did that in a bigger way. But with the fruit, the Supreme Captain wanted to honor the pioneers. So I said, oh, yes, sir, absolutely. All praise is due to Allah. So he said, okay. He said, man, do you think that you could put something together? And I said, by that time, I gotten used to those kind of requests. So my iPad is actually the Nation of Islam Archives, right?
Yes,
So
sir.
I said, yes, sir. Inshallah, I'll put together maybe a little 3-minute slideshow or whatever. And I actually ended up seeing Wali and Minister Rahman after that. Now, I don't know if you remember this, Wali. I saw y'all out in the hallway, and I stopped y'all, and I said, hey, I told you, I said, hey, Chief, make sure you have your dad in FOI class, because it's very early. It's like 6 a.m., you know. And I said, man, please make sure you have him, because it was like a surprise. And then I asked Minister Rahman, I said, Brother Minister, when you got moved to Houston, that was the mosque that was on Polk Street, right? And he was like, yes, sir. He said, I remember that place. When I got there, it was in such bad repair because they had left. He told me, they had literally left Whiting H&G in like the sink, like the disposal, and the place was not a good repair. He said, yeah, I had to go there. I had to clean that place up and get it in order. But and the reason why I asked him that was I wanted to make sure that when he was transferred, that they were still meeting there, just for my own mental recollection.
Yes, sir.
And so that was that. So we get to the FOI class, and a 3-minute video. I worked on that all night. I didn't even go to sleep. I was up all night.
Man, that video is fire, brother.
All praise is due to Allah. So I did that in FOI class. And then when it came to his memorial tribute, they asked about, I think Wali was saying, well, look, you know, Brother Carlos has a video. Why don't we play that? And because of the occasion, we talked, and I told him that I needed to kind of adjust it, and I needed to add some things to it to fit the context of us celebrating his life. Not that 8 minutes could do justice, but 3 minutes was really for the fruit class and not kind of giving a scope of the continuity of our brother. And so that's how we got from the 3-minute and some change in FOI class to what became the 8-minute presentation at his memorial service. Praise
be to Allah. So it was an overnight success, an overnight sacrifice, which made it an overnight success. Praise be to Allah for your work, brother.
Yeah, I would just say this. You know, I keep all of that in my iPad. I mean, there's a whole page of your dad, of nothing but his pictures and articles, and I got more, but I keep that kind of like the quick situation when I need to address his history or somebody's asking for something, especially if Wali needs something, I'm able to kind of give it to him right away. So praise be to Allah.
Well, praise be to Allah, brother minister. Before we show the video, brother minister, just want to ask you one last thing. Would you like to say anything? What comes to mind with Minister Rahman when you think about our brother? Anything comes to mind that you would like to say right now, sir?
I would say that there is no doubt, no question about Minister Rahman's loyalty to Islam.
Come on, man.
His love for Master Fard Muhammad, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and his brother and companion, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, and the followers prior to 75 until he returned to Allah. He loved the Muslims. And that's why any of us that came to Atlanta, we saw him at that mosque, in his post, in his chair. And when you came there, if you understood, you could not just greet him as if he was some statue there. If you knew better, you needed to stop and get your dose.
Come on, man.
Of inspiration.
That's right.
And I love that when I might have been in the city for something else, I always made sure there was space for me to get over to the mosque so that I could sit with him and use and videotape and audio tape him. I got a lot of that from him, and Rashida used to come and pick him up, you know, or Wally would come, and there was always somebody there to come and get him because that was his post.
That was his post, man.
That was his post. And
That was
so
his office.
Yes,
yeah,
yes, sir.
I would just say that he, like many that sacrificed their lives for this. And sometimes we may feel that Richard Adex, Clarence Seven, and some of the others that we hear about, Captain Yusef Shah, that they sacrificed. And they did mightily, because without them, we wouldn't have the reputation. We're living off Minister Rahman's reputation in Atlanta, believe it or not, and throughout the nation, and those that I mentioned in their respective areas. So lastly, it is what I heard the beloved honorable minister say about our brother, that sometimes we think, well, I'm in a city with all these intellectuals and college people. And Minister Rahman come from Street Corner University.
That's right. Come on now.
But guess what? The thing that we both had in common that he said, you know, Carlos, when Jamil came to Atlanta, they got somebody that was born and raised in Baltimore. So his work and labor in Atlanta showed that he could rumble with the best of the intellectuals and handcuff them, but at the same time, build the vision that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was given to him. Right? So that mosque at 1225 Bankhead Highway, that was a beautiful edifice, wasn't it? Right? And then they went over to East Georgia. Is that right? In the Kirkwood section, and opened up 15B and had over 1,500 people there when they opened up, that Chicago had to send a delegation there. Minister James Shabazz, Brother Captain Wali Baha, Sister Captain Portia Pasha, Minister John Muhammad from San Francisco was the keynote that day. Minister Abdul Kareem, who was the Western Regional Minister, came. Think of that. And everybody got a meal of Whiting H&G at the end. This is because of the work that your father did along with those believers. May Allah forever be pleased with him.
Teach, man.
And Captain Ben Assad, or Brother, what was his name? I can't remember that. Lawson.
Lawson Smith, that was his captain.
Yeah, Captain Lawson, Sister Captain Hazel. See, these were the laborers that your dad worked with to build up Atlanta, along with all of the great Muslims. And so I don't want your father to ever just be laid in the corner, because it is a great story that without him, we wouldn't have got Muhammad Ali. That's real. But the real truth of that ain't never been told.
Uh-oh.
It's done in little sound bites, little clips. I know you got it, Wally. You gonna tell it. That's right. Why what you said on Blood Brothers and the stance that you took on that documentary, we thank you for taking that stance. But I know they interviewed you for hours.
Yeah,
and gave you them little bites. That's what happened. So I'll leave you with this. We got to tell our own story.
That's right.
The children tonight, I'm going to post this when they put it back up. I'm sending it all over because we heard from Yes, Rashida, we heard from you all tonight, and y'all not done. Y'all got so much in you.
That's right.
About your dad and your mom and y'all upbringing.
That's right.
Another show and a few more shows.
That's right.
That the contribution is there. Oh, there's Brother Student Minister Darrell. Thank you, brother. And thanks, Student Minister Sharif, for always looking out for Minister Rahman.
Right. That's right.
Because he's our national treasure as well.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for this time, and I hope I wasn't too long. And
no, brother, we needed that.
All praise is due to Allah.
So So if you don't mind, dear brother, can you play the video now from your end?
Yes, I believe so. Let me.
Okay.
Brother
Let's
Colin,
see.
let me say this to you before you play it.
Go ahead, Elijah.
Tell me, Rock used to tell me all the time. He say, Elijah, and they were 3 famous Muslims in America. He says the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the Honorable Mr. Louis Farrakhan, and it is me.
That's right. That's right. That's that spirit. And he lives in you and us. And when you was reading that poem, we could hear your father come right through you reading that.
Yes,
and all
sir.
to do to Allah. So I'm going to try to share this.
Yes,
and
sir.
I believe that it will allow me. What is okay? This is StreamYard.
Yeah. StreamYard's a little.
Yeah, I got you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let's go to it. I'm trying to find it. Can you all see the page?
I can't yet.
Can you? Okay, let me.
You might have to put us in the green room.
Can you see it?
All right. Well, let me try that. Let me see. I'm gonna put you all in the green room. No disrespect.
Let me ask you, can you see what's on my screen with Minister Rahman?
Let me see.
I don't see him.
You see it, Ahmed? You on mute, Ahmed? Okay, I see it up here. Hold on.
Can everybody see it?
Go. Yeah. All right. Here we go. There it is.
Everybody can see it?
Okay. Yes, sir.
All right. Here we go.
We give praise to Almighty God, Allah, for the most honorable and humble Elijah Muhammad. We're not going to sit down and be weak. We're going to stand up and be strong. All praises are due to Allah for the honorable Elijah Muhammad. But I know that honorable Elijah Muhammad lives in me. For I cannot speak, I cannot talk, I could not walk, I could not eat, I could not sleep without even thinking about the honorable Elijah Muhammad. The honorable Elijah Muhammad have taken a lazy, a trifling people, and made them pool their resources. Today they're buying farmland. Today they're opening up educational centers throughout America. Today they're building hospitals. Today they have their own black curriculum in their schools. And the world marvel over the work of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad brings men from all walks of life to the nation of Islam. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad cleans up the junkie. He cleans up the wino. He cleans up the prostitute. He cleans up the doctor. He cleans up the educator. And when you put all of them in one brotherhood, you can't tell the wino from the doctor, and you can't tell the prostitute from the educator. Don't care where you go today, you hear the people throughout America bearing witness that Allah is God, bearing witness that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is his last and greatest messenger. Because the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is living the scripture. He's the fulfillment of the scriptures. All the prophets of God's prayers have been answered. Abraham's prayer have been answered. Moses' prayer have been answered. Jesus' prayer have been answered. Solomon's prayer have been answered. Muhammad's prayer have been answered. And your and my prayer have been answered here in America, who've been crying for the last 400 years. The black man knows he need a leader. He knows he need a teacher. He knows he need a guide. and have tried everything under the sun except the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. So the black man of America today should try the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, because the Honorable Elijah Muhammad's name is on the tip end of every man's tongue. I don't care what land or what country or what town you may go in, the most discussed man in the world today is the most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. All praises are due to Allah. And when we look in the scripture, we bear witness that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is on time. We was to spend 400 years in America. God would come after the 400 years. God would raise up us a man like Moses. We've been here 400 years. We never had a man like Moses until the coming of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Scripture also said, before the great and the dreadful day of the Lord, I will send you Elijah. Elijah's not to come. Elijah's already here. Elijah is to restore the black man. Give him his manhood back. Give him his right position on the earth back to him. And we can't find no other man doing these things but our great leader and teacher, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. Think over these things.
I could have sent something on a video screen, you know. I said, no, I got to come in person to tell my brother what I think of him. Because we met, both of us soldiers. See, you don't come to Allah big shot. We came in the ranks. We were soldiers. I remember when we were class A, FOI. A. I remember my brother in Chicago as one of the great lieutenants of the mighty FOI and one of the leaders of the elite squad that secured the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And I remember at FOI class how we would be practicing karate together. Because we can't be no punk in this. You got to be able to throw down when it's throw down time. So the Honorable Elijah Muhammad had us go through our paces. And as long as Islam lives, which is forever, the name Abdul Rahman Muhammad will live as long as Islam lives. That's not how long you live. It's the quality of your service. So don't worry about not having a long life. Try to live a life of service. Speak not of those who die or are slain in the way of Allah as dead. They are alive, but you understand not. But what you are involved in can never die. And if you work for Islam, work for the kingdom of submission and surrender to the will of God, then as long as that lives, which is forever, you will live with it. Rahman, eternal life. Let's hear it for Minister Abdul Rahman.
All I can say, thanks, million more thanks, thanks. Assalamu alaikum. Minister Abdul Rahman Muhammad, our honoree, feted by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Give them a great and resounding round of applause on this historic occasion where brotherhood is reaffirmed and service is lifted up.
All praise is due to Allah.
Praise be to Allah, man. Praise be to Allah. Thank you, brother Minister Carlos, brother, for such a wonderful, wonderful presentation. Thank you for your sacrifice. Thank you, brother. Thank you for your desire to see our nation archived and for your desire to see the history not lost, brother. Man, I just love the spirit in which you speak, brother. We had talked about it, but this is just part 1A of you coming on. So, brother,
thank you. But could I ask something of you? I know we went over 9 o'clock, but I think contextually, I like for the viewers that will watch this now and later to just hear something that it is audio to it, but I just have it in written form from November 13th, 1973, which our beloved Minister Rahman was at dinner with the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And this is from the Table Talks collection given to us by Imam Sultan Rahman Muhammad. And it starts here. Minister Rahman says, Assalamu alaikum. And the group said, Wa alaikum salam. Minister Rahman said, Assalamu alaikum, dear holy apostle. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, Wa alaikum salam. Come around. Have a seat. Sit down. How did you leave your family? Minister Rahman, thank you. Everybody's fine, dear holy apostle. They all told me if I was blessed to see you, to extend the greetings to you of Assalamu alaikum. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, yes. Okay. Did you bring the candy? Minister Rahman said, yes, sir. All right, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said. Minister Rahman said, you know, I couldn't look you up in Chicago if I didn't bring it. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, oh, brother, that is so fine. I know you are a man to your word. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, it used to be on the decline, but it's on its way out now. It's away from declining. And she's falling. You know, they would go back and forth. So I'll leave you with this last part that he's talking to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Minister Rahman says, you know, dear holy apostle, we had to turn away a crowd at the temple Sunday. The temple was full. The dining room was full. And we had the public address system going into the dining hall or dining room. Actually, we could not get any more people in the temple. We had close to 600. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, that's a lot of people for your temple. Minister Rahman said, in 94 first-timers, lost founds, and we got 47 of them to accept. The group said, all praise is due to Allah. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, that's just about half of them. And Minister Rahman said, and we got to work hard for you we have to work hard for you. This is so beautiful. So I just wanted to share some of that exchange between Minister Rahman and his teacher at a time that he was working very, very hard. And there's more in that, and God willing, on the next go or at another time, we will lift the rest of the exchange. He actually mentions the temple that they were trying to get in East Atlanta, and was talking about how many classrooms, how many it could hold, 1,000. And the messenger even said that, brother, I would buy it for you, but I want to know whether or not you could pay the light and gas bill. So, thank you, Rahman family. I love you all. And thank you, Jock brothers, and all of the believers, Student Minister Darrell, Student Regional Minister Sharif, and Waleed. We got work to do, brother. So anything that I can do, you already know I'm just a phone call away. I know what you're going through with that licensing too. I know the pain of that. So we got to raise some money. We need some money. That's what you're really saying.
Praise be to Allah. Praise be to Allah. Hey, well, look, we want to thank you all for your patience. Thank you all for weathering this. Man, this is such a beautiful meeting. Such a like brother student minister Carlos said. We thank the family, the Rahman family. for your sacrifice. We thank you for coming on tonight, sharing your story. We thank you for pouring your heart out. We thank you, Student Minister Darrell, for giving us your history with our brother Rahman. And I want to make the correction right now. I said mosque number, I believe I said 89, but the mosque is Muhammad Mosque number 93 in Macon. Excuse me, brother, the believers in Macon. I apologize. It's Muhammad Mosque number 93. So we want to thank you all for your hard work down there at Muhammad Mosque number 93. Thank you, Student Minister Carlos, brother. Thank the believers in Muhammad Mosque number 6 to supporting our brothers, Student Minister Carlos. We want to thank Student Regional Minister Abdul Sharif Muhammad, showing brotherhood and keeping our brother name in memory for
Abdul Sharif Muhammad.
Abdul, man. We want to thank him for his hard work as well. And we want to thank the Jock Nation for hanging with us. We are walking with the great one, Student Minister Abdul Rahman Muhammad.
That's right.
So we want to invite y'all next week. Come same Jock time, same Jock station.
Now listen, Jock brothers, this is the first annual. The first annual Rahman meeting every October the 1st.
Come on, man.
That's Abdul Rahman Day.
Abdul Rahman Day, October 1st. I'm born October 2nd. So we definitely can make that happen. Yes,
that's
sir.
His birthday. So it's so much left to be said, brother. Right. We can talk all night. So let's do it again next year, this time.
Yeah.
Praise to Allah. Thank you, Brother Wali, for your spirit. Thank you for I mean,
I'm Brother Elijah. That's Brother Wali. I'm Brother Elijah.
Oh, I apologize, Brother Elijah.
That's all right.
Thank
brother,
you, sir.
Well, I got you right here, and let me just clear something up. I just started an entertainment label called Arm Up Entertainment. That's Minister Rahman and Muhammad Ali's cigarette. Okay, Arm Up Entertainment. ARM, Abdul Rahman Muhammad. Arm Up, when he used to hold Ali arm up when he would win the fights, is what I have branded. And Brother Carlos, Muhammad got plenty of money right now. We not worried about that. We just waiting on these technicalities with this devil trying to stop me from putting all this footage out. So we got it. We on our way. We're closer than you think. The official film title is called The Man Behind the Greatest, and it's the documentary story about the mighty Minister Abdul Rahman Muhammad. And we also in the beginning writing phases of a reenactment series, The Man Behind the Greatest. And we're gonna reenact this just like they did The Godfather and Harlem. They putting out all these fake stories that put shade towards the Nation of Islam. I'm letting them put all them stories out, and we're gonna sweep the floor this year, brother. So you better believe it. We are gonna tell our story. We're gonna reenact it. We're gonna put the documentaries out, and we're gonna take over this on the highest platform, the supreme platform. So just understand, everything is Allah's timing, and we'll be putting it out within a year's time, sir. We just waiting on all the little technical glitches, because I don't want nobody to be able to take our documentary down or do anything else. I gotta lawfully make sure I push our story through Allah's help. Oh,
absolutely.
Let's say this also.
Absolutely, brother. Well, we thank both.
Support the Jack Brothers.
Right.
Tag Jack Brothers. Cash App. Cash App those brothers.
Let's go another hour, Elijah. Let's go another hour.
Let's go an hour. Praise be to Allah. Hey, well, thank you all, brothers and sisters. May Allah continue to bless you all with success as we go out. Take us out, Ahmed.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Assalamu alaikum, brother Carlos. Be safe.
Wa alaikum salam, everyone. Love you all.
Love you all. Love you all.
May I say the prayer before? Can I close us out in prayer, brother?
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Abdullah Shaitani Rajim. Bismillah Rahman Rahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Rahman Rahim. Maliki Yawm Medin. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم Gabriel Magdalene, what a darling. I mean, I